Hey guys, this is Emily from New Earth Transmissions, and I just wanted to talk about a little bit more about Judgment Day and the biblical interpretation of what's going on with New Earth and the creation of heaven on earth. And I'm coming from a more spiritual perspective. I was not raised Christian, I was actually raised Jewish, though my mom was Christian. Um, and if we look at these old Bible prophecies about Judgment Day, I'm just going to read to you what it says on this website that I'm reading from right now. So, what is Judgment Day? As depicted, and I will put a link to this below. As depicted in the picture on the right, many people imagine that on Judgment Day, billions of souls will be brought before God's throne to be judged according to their former deeds, some to be rewarded with life in heaven, others to be tormented in hell. And the Bible shows, however, that the purpose of Judgment Day is to rescue people from injustice. Okay, so with this whole ascension thing, like ever since my first and now second Kundalini awakening, I've really been awakened to this fact that I'm kind of being, you could say, through this interpretation of God through the Bible, which I personally believe that there's many different interpretations of God, but um, I've really been connecting with the Bible lately just because I feel that a lot of the prophecies about the end of times are coming true right now. Like the earth is literally in one of the worst conditions it's ever been in, probably the worst condition it's ever been in, with all the pollution and all the toxicity in our waters, in our land, deforestation. There's obviously a lot. Animal extinctions, there's a lot going on. It's too much going on. And even with humans, shootings, more and more each week, more and more each year, it seems like. Um, there's just a lot of toxicity reflected on our planet physically and through humans. We're all just mirroring what's inside of us. So our planet is a mirror of what's inside humankind, and it's not good. Um, so how will Judgment Day restore justice? Um, the resurrected ones will be judged not on the basis of what they did before they died, but on what they do. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it's saying about the dead coming back, and honestly, I've been experiencing this myself. I actually lost my mom to cancer in 2013, and that's been honestly a part of my awakening experience, was my loss of my mom. And now that I'm becoming more awakened, healing the toxicity, healing my grief, especially healing the past, um, she's been coming back to me. Like, I recently made a shrine to her actually in my house and decorated a room in a way that I think she would have really liked. And I honestly felt like I was channeling her the whole time. Like, it didn't even feel like I was decorating the room. It felt like her. And I've been decorating my whole house. I live with my family. And I've just really been feeling like she's been teaching me, in a way, like the things that she wasn't able to teach me when she was alive. Like, how to do a lot of that feminine homemaker type of stuff. And I was raised in a really masculine way. Um, I was raised to really focus on school, sports, achievements, and I really did not have a strong connection, excuse me, to my feminine side. So during this awakening, and I met my twin flame back in April, I've been really learning a lot about the feminine side of myself. And it's still, I will say, like, not, I don't think fully grown yet, but it's definitely making a lot of strides. So I feel that my mom is, in a way, like coming back to earth to maybe do what she wanted to do with me before she died but wasn't able to do. And it's just interesting because I think the way that we see the Bible a lot of the time, like for myself especially, I literally my whole life saw it as a story, like, oh, like almost like a cartoon in a way. Like there's this devil and he's, it just seemed so mystical and like way too out there for me, like, like almost like a children's story. But if we interpret it a little differently, maybe look at it through the historical lens where maybe they were more open to less of a literal interpretation, more of a metaphorical interpretation back then. Like, we could see, now I can shift my perspective and see, like, oh, the devil is all the bad things that people do and things that tempt them to do it. And before this awakening, I will say, like, my moral compass was very blocked and iffy, and I didn't make a lot of good decisions. And right now, I'm really going through, I feel like I'm going through this, the Great Tribulation they talk about in the Bible, or Judgment Day. All my sins are really coming up to the forefront, like everything I've done from the past, or everything that's been done to me, even, like, um, just kind of showing me why I turned into the person that I did, which honestly, I will not lie to you guys. After I lost my mom, I went into a really dark place. Um, I struggled with mental illness, and I honestly thought I was a really good person during that time. I was doing my best, and I was. I know I was doing my best, but I wasn't doing very well, honestly. And it's because I didn't know how to cope. So that's why I really don't have a lot of judgment, now that we're talking about Judgment Day, for others anymore, because I know that people are just doing the best they can given their circumstances. So during this time of Judgment Day, it's not, as light workers, it's not our job to judge others. It's just our job to inform others and share what messages are coming through to us, what we've been working on, and showing people the light, showing people there's a better way to live, not by judging them, because that's not our job, that's God's job. And I'm still personally not 100% sure what God is, but I know that God is like the most intelligent thing in the world ever. And it's just, the more I awaken, the more aware of the intelligence I become. Like, none of this is random, everything was divine, everything was predestined, and it's just amazing and beautiful. It's like a beautiful story unfolding. And yeah, so I think this is what's going on. This is really what the whole New Earth movement and ascension is about. The Bible interpreted it in a different way than a lot of New Age people interpret it, but it really all doesn't matter. It's all the same story using different words, and it's all coming together. And in terms of Jesus ruling over heaven, I think that that is also what's happening. Like, that Christ consciousness is going to be ruling over the heavens, which is our 5D, our subconscious. Like, our subconsciouses are going to be attuned to Christ consciousness. Like, they're going to be attuned to living in a way that's like really aligned with how Jesus would have lived, and things are going to be a lot more peaceful. People are going to have a lot more compassion for each other. And this is really what the end of times is all about. It's actually just a new beginning, as we hear about in New Age tarot type of community. Also, like, the death card, you could symbol is always comes before a new beginning. So that's what's going on. Thanks so much, guys, for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.